Who here has ever been angry at someone? Raise your hand. Well, since our audience is mostly human, that's a good start. On my 36th birthday, my daughter handed me the drawing of a broken heart. It was more than a child's sketch. It was a mirror, reflecting the fracture within me. A heart cracked by anger. Anger towards man. Yes, you men. That anger had grown into rage when I walk alongside the women I work with and listening to their stories. But I wasn't just enraged. I was stuck, trapped behind the door I couldn't open. Yet, I held a key. As an art therapist working with refugees and people with special needs for more than a decade, I have witnessed firsthand the most profound traumas this population enter. In their struggle, I've seen how art and the simplest of symbols can serve as a bridge to transformation. I've seen anger transmute from a single gesture, or forgiveness emerging from the lines of a drawing. And today I want to show you this. Symbols shape not only how we see the world, but also how we heal. Sometimes it's a small object in your pocket, a stone you carry, or a letter you never send, or a child's drawing. These small things can carry profound meaning, enough to change the way we carry our scars, the way we walk through life, and the way we open our hearts to one another. We now live in the era of Me Too, a time when voices once silenced are finally being heard. Justice is at last being served. But is justice alone enough if the hearts still carry resentment? Or is it what we truly want, a world where women, men, and people of all gender could co-create together in peace? What if I told you that this world already exists, just on the other side of that door? They say, to truly master something, you must walk the talk. And I realized I needed to heal not only for my own heart, but to hold space fully and truthfully for the torture survivor I supported as a peace builder. Yet I often felt like a fraud. How could I guide others towards peace while fighting a silent war within myself? And as a single mother of 2 daughters, I held another responsibility: to lead by example, to show them what it means to embody peace and not just speak of it. A few days after that realization, something happened. I stumbled upon a shell in my apartment. Beautiful, simple, yet holding something ancient. And the same day, a friend called. She has just returned from the pilgrimage along the way of Compostela, a past symbolized by that very same shell. And in that moment, something clicked. My journey from rage to peace would take the shape of a pilgrimage, not a religious one, but a creative one, a conscious walk through the arts, a walk leading to Compostela, the resting place of St. James, one of Jesus' apostles. And just before I left, my daughter handed me the drawing of the broken heart. And with the wisdom only children have, she looked at me and said, "Take this and place it on St. James' gravestone so we can fix your heart, Mom." Well, I was officially on a mission. Along the path, I discovered something powerful. There are 3 keys, 3 principles that I realized had always been present in my own healing, and in the journeys of those I had the privilege to walk beside. The first, reality depends on who is looking. Let me tell you about Phoenix, a single mother from the Middle East, an artist and a lover of theater. Her crime, performing in a play. For that, she was imprisoned, tortured, raped again and again. But in the depth of darkness, something remarkable happened. Drawing, poetry. Art became her way to survive, her key to freedom when there was no escape. Through her drawing, she began to see herself differently, not just as a victim, but as a creator and as a woman who could reclaim her story. Art almost killed her, but it also led her back to life. Reality depends on who is looking. And sometimes art changes the way we see our stories. The second key was gifted to me by a dear mentor. Make art make sense. Science has shown that a life filled with meaning is more important than happiness. Through symbols and art, we can transform suffering into purpose. From the beginning, the way of Compostela has been a path not only of pilgrimage, but of expression. Along the trail, scriptures, relics, symbols bear witness of the human need to create meaning through art. Yes, this is the power of symbols. This is the power of art. And sometimes it's a small object in your pocket, or a letter a friend gave you, the one you hold to when you thought you wouldn't survive, or a sentence scribbled on a wall that reminded you were still human while being raped again and again in prison. Make art make sense. And those are more than symbols. They hold us together when we're falling apart. They whisper that hope and even forgiveness might still be possible. The last key. Art is the evidence. Do you hear me? Art is the evidence. Evidence that we were here. Evidence that we felt. Evidence that we survived. I know this is a TED Talk, and the wonderful team here loves evidence-based fact. So I brought mine, a big bag filled with artwork I've made since childhood. Proof I'm a real artist. But here's what I've learned. These drawings, these symbols, they are not just proof of art, they're proof of life. Every piece carries a story. Some were born from pain, others from hope. But many, like that broken heart drawing, were made by hands that needed to express something meaningful. Because when words fail, art becomes the only proof we have that we are still here. A handprint on a prison wall, a stone in a pocket, or a child's drawing that says, "Fix your heart, Mom." These are more than objects. They are evidence of our longing to heal, of our will to keep going, and of our power to forgive. On the path, I discovered something interesting. There are two types of walkers, the tourist and the pilgrim. The tourist looks outwards, snapping selfies, small talking around. The pilgrim looks inwards, mostly silent. They create meaning as they walk, step after step. I tried to walk as a pilgrim, carrying not just my backpack, but symbols along the path. Like this stone I picked, that represents my anger. Every epic story includes a wide range of emotions, but also always a love story. That's when Joe entered my life, loving and supporting me step after step. Because love, just like art, can be transformative. So without further ado, let's welcome Joe to the stage. Joe, my pilgrim stick, the most loyal companion you could ever ask for. So this is us. And this is Joe, a well-deserved bath after a long walking day. But every epic story also includes that mysterious character that always appears at just the right moment with a key. And mine was the one I called the Wood Fairy. She emerged from the bushes with long shimmering gray hair and said, "It's a holy year! They opened the secret door!" And with a vibrant smile, she looked at me and said, "They opened the forgiveness door just for you," pointing at me. Well, the forgiveness door is a sacred gateway that leads directly to St. James' gravestone. Normally sealed, it opens only once a decade. But I wasn't thrilled about the idea of passing through a door. I do that every day. I was thrilled to be able to fulfill my daughter's mission and place my broken heart on St. James' gravestone as promised. And finally, the big day arrived. On September 21st, 2021, I reached the cathedral, found the forgiveness door, passed through it, and there I was standing in front of St. James' gravestone. I had only a few seconds because of the line behind me, so I pulled out my daughter's drawing, folded it carefully, placed it right there. And there I was, facing the apostles' relics. And guess what happened? Absolutely nothing. So I decided to ask him, "Look, I came all the way, found the door, passed through it, and here I am, but I ain't feeling anything. Could you do a little something for me? You're close friend with this very powerful dude." And guess what happened? Absolutely nothing. But an image flashed in my mind, something I've been carrying in my bag for a long time. But let me tell you, this is not a stone. To me, this represents more than 2,000 years of patriarchal oppression and all the anger it had generated in my body for years. You know, passing that door was not the end of the journey, but only the beginning. Forgiveness is not an obligation, is not a reconciliation. Forgiveness is an initiation to a different state of being that can transform wounds into wisdom, anger into purpose. Now imagine a world where people, regardless of gender identity, could smile at each other without fear or hidden agendas. How would that feel? That world is not a distant dream. That world is a possibility just on the other side of that door. So now let's try something together. I invite you to close your eyes. Imagine there is a door in front of you. Is it open? Closed? Locked? Or broken? Now imagine yourself slowly opening that door. What's on the other side? Take a mental picture and come back. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past. Forgiveness, it's about rewriting your path forward as a pilgrim. It's about transforming what broke you into what frees you. This is the power of art. This is the power of symbols. And that door is waiting for you. Will you walk through it?